Welcome into the Lantern TV edition of Buckeye Sports Now. I'm Matt Goldman.
And I'm AJ Renneker.
Ohio State has 36 varsity sports, the most of any university in the country. We're here to talk about some of the teams the Scarlet and Gray features this year. They're red hot this year, AJ.
They absolutely are. As our fall sports are winding down, our winter sports are beginning to heat up. The Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team recently returned from Destin, Florida with an Emerald Coast Classic Championship trophy under the belt. They secured wins over Western Michigan, Alabama, and Santa Clara to bring home the trophy.
And let's not forget, there's some other great teams for Ohio State this year. The football team, top 10 America still, looking to get a college football playoff berth. But let's talk about the women's ice hockey team. Top 2 team in the nation, AJ.
Absolutely. Ohio State fans packed the Ohio State ice rink last Friday night as the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes took on the number 1 Wisconsin Badgers. Lantern TV's Henry Pilliod has more.
Number 2 Ohio State welcomed to the top team in the nation in the Wisconsin Badgers on Friday night. This was their first matchup of the year. The last time these teams played was for a national championship back in March. Let's get into the game highlights as this was an exciting one. Kiara Zanin put the Buckeyes on the board just over halfway through the first period to give Ohio State a 1-0 lead. The Buckeyes were absolutely relentless on offense, including a whopping 14-6 shot advantage over the Badgers in the first period alone. Ohio State wasn't done there, however, as now we head into the second period where the Buckeyes were led again by their scorching hot scoring attack. Jen Gardiner, hailing from British Columbia, Canada, had a massive standout performance on the offensive end. She had not one, but 2 goals against the number 1 team in the country in just the second period alone. Not only that, both goals came within the first 3 minutes of the period. A gutsy and feisty performance from the graduate forward. And we can't forget about defense in this game, as we saw a big-time performance from Reagan Kirk, who started in goal for the Buckeyes and stopped all 20 shots that came her way. This marked the first time all season that Wisconsin has been held scoreless. This shutout from Kirk and the 3 goals from Zanin and Gardiner paved the way for the Bucks. So as Ohio State comes away with a big win over the reigning national champs, Gardiner and Kirk, as well as Coach Muzz, share their thoughts on why the Buckeyes were successful on the ice.
For sure. I think it was just a good start by our team in general. Obviously, heading into that power play, there was a pretty big hit taken on Joss there. So I think we just wanted to make it clear that we were not okay with that. And so scoring 2 power play goals was a good way to reflect on our team right there. And I think that really just kept the game going from there.
Yeah, I think just staying focused, and especially in those last minutes where you never know if they're going to pull the goalie and have that extra player, you just have to keep pushing yourself. And we just played really good defense. They had really great block shots and just battling front to get that puck out, and it was really great to see.
But to win against Wisconsin, I mean, that's hard to come by, you know. But I got to give a lot of credit to our girls. They really pressed and played the system in all 3 zones. And then our most valuable player today was Kirk, hands down. I mean, how fantastic she was. We left her out to dry on a couple plays that could have, really changed the momentum of the game.
And what a win by the Buckeyes. 3-0 shutout at home, 2 goals and a power play. Absolutely astonishing win.
Jen Gardiner, one of the top players in the Big Ten, the WCHA, 2 goals in the second period. Pretty astonishing work from the Scarlet and Gray. A big win at home, and they look to do it again on Saturday and get back to the national championship where they were last year.
Absolutely. They're looking to make their 3rd national championship appearance in as many years and hoping to bring home their 2nd title in 3 years.
Speaking of rivalries in certain sports, let's get into the women's volleyball team here at Ohio State. Unranked this year, but they take on the number 19th ranked Penn State Nittany Lions at a packed Covelli Center, and our AJ Renneker standing by with more.
The Ohio State women's volleyball team welcomed number 19 Penn State in their penultimate game of the season at the Covelli Center. The Buckeyes sat at 11-16 overall coming into the matchup, sitting in 10th in the Big Ten, while the Nittany Lions entered this game at 20-8 overall and 3rd in the conference. The matchup between the Big Ten opponents had an extra layer to it with the return of Mac Pedraza, the graduate setter who transferred from Ohio State to Penn State this past offseason. She garnered some extra cheers in the Covelli when they announced her name in the lineup. The Buckeyes fell in the first set 27-25 after a back-and-forth effort that saw multiple lead changes from both teams. Ohio State senior outside hitter Emily Londat started off hot, becoming the first in the match to reach 10 kills, but it was not enough to keep Penn State from securing the first set in extra play, thanks to back-to-back kills by Penn State senior outside hitter Cameron Hanna. The second set was all Nittany Lions. Ohio State played down the entire set, which included a 12-0 run by Penn State to go down 18-6. The Buckeyes would add to the board, but ultimately it was another set-clinching kill by Cameron Hanna. The third set was another nail-biter. After back-and-forth battles, Penn State held their largest lead of the set at 22-18. At that point, the Buckeyes tied it up at 23-23. The Nittany Lions were eventually able to take the final 2 points, winning the set and the sweep. Senior outside hitter Jess Mruzik scored the winning point. Post-game, Ohio State senior defensive specialist Sarah Sue Morbitzer said that despite the sweep, she still felt the team played hard on the defensive side of the ball. On the same note, Ohio State head coach Jen Flynn Olden said the grittiness and mental toughness are exactly what she's been preaching all year, and why this team has no quit late in the season.
Yeah, I think in the first and third set we were serving really aggressively, getting them out of the system a lot, and then we were really gritty on defense, I thought. Second set, that's where we could have been more gritty, but the first and third, I think we were just relentless on defense, and then covering our hitters hard, telling them to swing hard. So, yeah.
And I think there's times this year that we could have just kind of thrown in the towel and said, okay, we'll just wait for next year. And this group isn't like that. They want to work hard every day, and they want to continue to improve.
Seemed like a fun environment you had at the women's volleyball game at Covelli Center, AJ.
It was an unfortunate loss, but Penn State is a tough opponent. Like you said, number 19th ranked in the country. They lost in 3 sets. However, 2 of those 3 sets were within 4 points combined, and Ohio State showed in a lot of grit not to throw in the towel this late in the season.
The Mac Pedraza game, she returns after being a 4-year letter winner here at Ohio State. What was it like being there when she got announced in the starting lineup?
The crowd definitely got a little louder when they announced her name in the Penn State starting lineup.
Speaking of roaring crowds, let's talk about some men's basketball.
Absolutely. For some Wednesday night hoops, the Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball team took on the Central Michigan Chippewas at Value City Arena. They come in at 6-1 after this game, one of their best starts under head coach Chris Holtman. Lantern TV's Gabe Payne has more.
Coming back home from the Emerald Coast Classic, where the Buckeyes secured a victory against number 17 Alabama and won the tournament, they faced off against Central Michigan, their first game back at the Shot. Ohio State definitely carried their momentum from the tournament into this game and have been hot to start this season prior to this matchup against Central Michigan. Ohio State and Central Michigan started off this game trading buckets and going back and forth after a nice dunk right here from Felix Okpara and a three-pointer that swishes in by none other than our star guard, Bruce Thornton. Ohio State found themselves up early 7-2, and Anthony Pritchard quickly makes that 7-5. This is when things started going Ohio State's way early, sparked by some nice defense. Good mid-range jump shot from CMU's Brian Taylor, but Bruce keeps it cool, calm, and collected, and responds with 3 straight beautiful buckets to keep the Buckeyes going and put them up 18-12. The Central Michigan Chippewas didn't give up and began chipping away at the OSU lead, and this game started going back and forth once again with this soaring dunk from number 0, Brian Taylor for Central Michigan, and another one by Felix with 2 defenders right in his grill. After this 2-point basket and an and one from CMU's Caden Vesco, it was 22-21 with the game in a balance. And that's when Thornton started putting in work again for the Buckeyes, scoring 3 straight buckets for his team to put them back up with a solid cushion, including this fading mid-range jumper and a huge 3 to get the crowd off their feet and go up 29-21. That sparked a run that was capped off by a Felix jam to put Ohio State up 37-21. Fast forward now to the second half, and Felix Okpara is still throwing down dunks, and the Buckeyes are still dominating. Despite some nice plays like this, and an and one from Anthony Pritchard, and a 3 from Paul McMillan, Buckeyes win 88-61.
Really good moments tonight, and some moments where we got to get a lot better. So, give credit to Central Michigan. They were down 2 starters. They were down their best post player, second leading scorer, I believe, or maybe their leading scorer. So give those guys credit for doing some things tonight in terms of their physicality. But obviously we had some really good leadership from some guys and some really good stretches of play, and then some other ones where we got to get better.
Right. No matter what team it is, our coaches tell us don't take it light. Still go in and have our standard of how we play. So that was the main message for us, and that's how we learn and get better.
Big 27-point win by the Buckeyes last night. It seems like a lot of their starting 5 are having a breakout season. Felix Okpara has been one of those players.
I would say so, AJ. Ohio State is rolling right now. One of the hotter teams in the Big Ten, Roddy Gale Jr., Bruce Thornton, who had 25 last night after coming off a 29-point game against Alabama, MVP in the Emerald Coast Classic. I think this team is really good right now, and Ohio State's starting to showcase what they're all about under Chris Holtman.
They absolutely are, and they look to keep this momentum rolling.
And that's all for now here on Buckeye Sports Now. I'm Matt Goldman.
And I'm AJ Renneker.
Thanks for tuning in, and Buckeye Sports will continue next time.